Hey everyone, James, here on the XRP headline channel. We've got to talk about something big, XRP market manipulation. And honestly, manipulation across the entire crypto market. Specifically, let's dive into what went down yesterday because it was downright weird. Now, if you've been following me for a while, you know I steer clear of conspiracy theories. Most of them, pure nonsense. People come up with all kinds of wild ideas and statistically, most are flat out wrong. I've been trading crypto successfully for over 380 days, consistently closing every month in profit. In the last 90 days alone, my followers have earned over $29,000 in profits by copying my trades. Want to see my verified stats? Click the first link in the profile description and start copying my trades for free today. But every now and then, something comes along that raises eyebrows, and yesterday's market activity is one of those moments. I'm not here claiming to have answers. I don't. But what just happened is unprecedented in the history of crypto. And no, I'm not talking about a crash. Those are practically routine at this point. This is something else entirely, and it's worth unpacking, especially when it comes to XRP. Before we go further, let me emphasize, I'm not a financial expert. This is not financial advice. Don't buy or sell based on anything I say. I'm just a crypto enthusiast sharing my thoughts for fun. That said, buckle up, because what we're about to discuss is unlike anything we've seen before. Arguments often happen because people talk past each other, not to each other. Even when they agree on the facts, they might use words differently. Different definitions lead to unnecessary disagreements. This happens all the time in language. It's not about conflict, but clarity. Take this. Is it manipulation or influence? The distinction often comes down to intent. Influence usually aims to guide or inspire, often with neutral or positive intent. Manipulation, on the other hand, carries a negative weight, impacting human behavior or desires in a way that feels underhanded or deceptive. You can manipulate objects without issue, but when it comes to people, manipulation often implies something nefarious. Now let's test this out. I'll run through examples and you decide, is it influence or manipulation? But first, let me address the elephant in the room. From a crypto perspective, I'm thrilled Trump won the election. Love him or hate him. If you're in crypto, you probably agree. This is undeniably good for the space. Here's a wild headline from Cointelegraph. January 20th, 2025. Trump crypto project buys $48 million in Ethereum as token strengthens versus Bitcoin. Intriguing, right? Donald Trump's crypto project, World Liberty Financial, just grabbed 14,403 Ether, worth $48 million on January 19th. Why? Because Ethereum has been gaining a bit of ground against Bitcoin. Fast forward to January 31st, another headline. World Liberty Financial buys another $10 million in ETH. Clearly, this isn't a one-off. Now, here's where it gets even more interesting. Eric Trump, with his 5.4 million followers, posted just hours ago. In my opinion, it's a great time to add ETH. Yep, that's real. The son of the former president is either influencing or manipulating, you tell me. Oh, and the original post had an extra line, "You can thank me later." That part was quietly deleted. Coincidence? Maybe. But fascinating? Absolutely. This all raises a bigger question. Are we looking at influence or manipulation in the crypto world? Intent matters here, and it's getting harder to tell the difference. Oh, and one more twist. Tonight's breaking news. Trump orders creation of a sovereign wealth fund. Big news is making waves in the world of finance and crypto. Just over a week ago, Trump signed an executive order to explore the idea of a national stockpile of digital assets. Now, he's taken it a step further, ordering the creation of a sovereign wealth fund. Intriguing, right? But here's the catch. We don't know exactly what's going into this fund yet. Will digital assets play a role? Officially, there's no mention of crypto, Bitcoin, or digital assets in the order. Yet, speculation is running wild. CoinDesk notes that while Bitcoin wasn't explicitly mentioned, it's possible the fund could include government-held Bitcoin. That's enough to get the crypto world buzzing. The US government's stance on crypto is no secret. They've shown strong interest in ETH and are almost certainly pro-XRP. Ripple's CEO Brad Garlinghouse has openly stated that he's had conversations with Trump about XRP as a potential reserve asset for the US. Let that sink in. Ripple, XRP, and the highest levels of government in one conversation. This isn't a theory. It's fact. Google it if you're skeptical. Let's dive into this wild world of charts and crypto mysteries. First, Tony Savarino was talking about charting Bitcoin dominance and market cap, and dropped a key point. Before a real altcoin season, there's often a fakeout. But can these fakeouts be orchestrated? Artificial even? Then there's this insane XRP chart from Charting Guy. Probably the wildest wick ever seen. Seriously, what's going on? That was just this morning. Things are getting bizarre. And here's Crypto Michael chiming in. I've been trading since 2018 and have never seen altcoins crash 50% while Bitcoin stays steady. Something bigger might be at play here. A crash of this magnitude feels like deja vu, the echoes of FTX all over again. Something major happened behind the scenes, leading to a black swan event. The silver lining? Crashes like this often create insanely profitable opportunities for the bold. Bitcoin held up surprisingly well, which is a first in crypto history. While altcoins took a nosedive, Bitcoin remained relatively steady. That's what's new here, an unprecedented shift in the dynamics of the crypto market. Chart analyst Peppa predicts XRP could hit $4 next, calling this chaos a major orchestrated liquidity and stop hunt. While he hasn't shared hard evidence, the sheer unpredictability of the situation makes his theory intriguing. Then there's chart analyst Dom, who didn't hold back. Last night, he called the altcoin crash insanity, comparing it to FTX, or even the COVID market shock. And he's not wrong. Altcoins plummeted 30% in just a few hours, a freefall few could have seen coming. XRP's wild ride hit a low of $1.88, marking a point so extreme it felt like stepping into the twilight zone. That's looking like the bottom, he said, or we're venturing into non-reality. It was an almost absurd scenario if the plunge had continued. Fast forward to this morning, and after the dust settled, here's what he had to say. Yesterday's move was manipulated. Bold claim, right? He explained why he confidently called a low within just 3 minutes, using XRP as an example. According to him, market makers orchestrated a coordinated effort to pull buy-side liquidity, sending altcoins spiraling into chaos. The early part of the drop seemed natural, but the tail end? That's where things got suspicious. The order books became a void. Complete air. He even attached a chart to back it up. Did you catch that scatter of bids? Who placed them? And why? When XRP was soaring at $3.07, suddenly, out of nowhere, a flood of bids appeared at shockingly low prices. Why then? Why there? It wasn't like these bids had been sitting there for months, waiting for a rainy day. No, they popped up right before the drop, at levels no one would have expected in the short term. Coincidence? Maybe. But the timing is hard to ignore. Take a look at the data. These lines you see? They're bids. Right before XRP's nosedive, this pattern emerged, almost like someone knew something the rest of us didn't. Who would have thought it could drop 42% in a single day, unless someone knew they could make it happen? Perps longs are now riding nearly 40% profit, and honestly, that's why I felt confident calling a bottom. The order book was practically empty on both sides. The moment those perps orders started filling, it was clear a bounce was coming. They don't lose. Let's not dive into conspiracy theories, but if you think that move was natural, think again. To me, it screams coordinated effort, crashing altcoins to scoop up bids on the cheap. And whether or not this was the ultimate low, it's clear some players are operating on an entirely different level. Who has the power to move a market of this size so quickly? This is just one example, XRP. Imagine checking other coins to find the same patterns popping up. Coincidence? Hardly. This is real. It's not a fluke unless you believe someone magically placed those orders by chance right before the move. That's a tough sell. And when you consider Bitcoin's odd behavior, it gets even stranger. Dom's latest post tonight dives deeper into this. Yesterday was bizarre, not just a little off. We're talking full-on, head-scratching strange. Why? Well, altcoins experienced a jaw-dropping 40% wipeout in a single day, and nobody had a solid explanation. Let me repeat, a 40% crash with no obvious trigger. XRP tanked unexpectedly, bids appeared out of nowhere, and the market spiraled. It felt like chaos without a cause. Now, here's the kicker. Only 3 other moments compare in terms of sheer price madness: COVID, the FTX collapse, and the Terra Luna implosion. In those cases, the reasons were clear, and Bitcoin led the charge downward. But this time, Bitcoin merely grazed the bottom of its recent range, while altcoins plummeted into oblivion. Theories emerged, including tariffs. Yes, tariffs. For context, Trump threatened tariffs. Canada retaliated with their own, and the trade war chatter escalated. Could this explain the crash? Some thought so. But let's be real. Bitcoin didn't flinch at trade wars, so why would altcoins? It doesn't add up. If tariffs caused the crypto market drop, why did it only hit altcoins and not Bitcoin? That's never happened before. It just doesn't add up. Something feels off here, and maybe one day we'll uncover the truth. But for now, let's speculate. Could this be a calculated statement about altcoins, showcasing Bitcoin's stability? It's an intriguing thought. This weekend could fuel arguments that altcoins are far too volatile for a digital asset reserve. After all, when was the last time we saw an altcoin bloodbath while Bitcoin stayed steady? I've been in this space for over 7 years, and this is a first. Sure, the easy explanation is thin altcoin liquidity and panic selling, but a 40% wipeout in hours? That suggests market makers stepped back completely. So what gives? Manipulation of XRP and altcoins, or just business as usual in crypto's Wild West? The timing feels a bit too coincidental, doesn't it? Share your theories in the comments. I'm genuinely curious. And remember, I'm not a financial advisor. Don't trade based on my ramblings, okay? That would be a very bad idea. Stay sharp, crypto fam.